Testing. Hey, what's up? How you doing? Welcome to my channel. I'm Rondell Jordan, aka DJBlackSwanRadio.com. I'm also the author of IlluminatedNubians.com, Bible study guides. It's a non-religious perspective of the Bible where I put African history back into context. It was taken out of context during the translations between the foreign nations who acquired it through conquest. And this is what the Bible is about. It's about the northern, the redlands, the war nations versus the gods of creation. So the gods of war versus the gods of creation. And the combining of nations, right, to make a holy one, a man with the Trinity, the bloodlines of Japheth, Ham, and Shem. And when we follow the roots of Noah and his three sons, it leads back to Lamech of Genesis chapter 4, the hidden chapter, the chapter no one talks about, right? The chapter where Cain goes off in the city of Nod and finds a wife and builds a city and names it after his son Enoch. And we hear a lot of chatter about Enoch. Enoch was taken by God. He walked with God, for he was not. It was not like the others. He actually lived just 365 years, while the other ones were living 700, 800, 900 years. Enoch was different, and it's because Enoch was a mix, right? He was the seed of Adam, who was named after the God of creation, right? The African deity Atum, who uttered the existence of man and woman through his speech, his breath, through the semen, right? The fluid, the seed of life. And in Mother Earth, he molded the flesh. And this is the reason why you see life forms only on Earth. These parables, these stories made so much sense, but they were taken out of context. This is the reason why in Genesis 1:27 it says God created 3 times. Man in his image, he created them male and female. The word created was used 3 times because it specifically means to bring something into existence. This is the reason why even the chapter ends truly in Genesis 2 verse 3, I think maybe 4, where it says God created and made. And they're distinguishing the two because made means to piece together the parts of something, as if to put your heart in its place, its liver in its place, its kidneys in its place, its brain in its place, its colon in its place. You get the point. We have been constructed, not just mush what's given life. We're not slugs. God has created examples of every life form conceivable, from the gnat to the human being, everything in between. This is the creator, nature's God, as opposed to the Lord, who they heard walking in the garden in the cool of the day. He formed man and the beast of the field, as opposed to the beast of the earth. You see, Genesis 1:25. God made the beast of the the beast of the earth, whereas Genesis 2:19, the Lord God formed the beast of the field. And this is when Adam is given his name. Then he was named 6 times. His name is used 6 times after the word formed was used for the 3rd time. This are the subtle nuances, the poetic nuances that are used to hide the messaging that is being relayed or revealed to us in the scriptures, to keep us disconnected from our roots, because that leads us to our source. They rather us look outside our bodies, like an alien invasion, when an alien is a foreigner. Not an extraterrestrial, is a foreigner, someone from another country. So when we think alien and we think extraterrestrial, what that means is the media has been used to trick us. You see, the imagery that we seen in the movies, E.T., Phone Home, has caused our imagination to think of things out of this world in a physical mutation of an earthly creature, a rendition, man's imagination. And people live by it, argue about it. Friendships are broken about this because people who look for divinity in outer space are under the same spell. It's just a different medium, a different language. And this is done to control the population. You need to control the traffic of the masses. You can't just have the stock running wild aimlessly in the desert 40 years, 40 nights. No. The offspring of the house of Israel includes its stock, the land and its people, and the resources therein. So this is the reason why in Genesis 2:10 it says the first river, which was Pishon, it is the one which encompasses the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold. 1. And the gold of the land is good. 2. 3. G-O-O-D. G-O-L-D. G-O-D. Gold is God. Bdellium is a rare resin, a spice like myrrh. Myrrh is used as a incense, a sacrifice, a gift to the gods. Just like gold, bdellium and onyx stone is a rare stone, a gemstone that is thought to have powers with specific use against the enemy, the evil powers, especially during war. So this gives us some characteristics about who is encompassing into the land of Havilah, into the land of Cush. And he says Hiddekel is the river in which goes towards Assyria. So how did he know about Assyria? How does he know about Assyria? If he's African, he's giving us the water route from Assyria down through the Mediterranean Sea coastline into the Nile River Delta, down the Nile River, past Kemet, Kerma, Cush, into the land of Punt. Revelation says, and he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding from the throne of God and of the Lamb in the middle of its streets. And on either side of the river was the tree of life, which bore 12 fruits, each tree yielding its fruit every month. It's the papyrus. They cut the stem, right, and they send it through a process to create paper, the world's first paper, where the scribes can write scripts, and the priests and the kings and the queens of the earth could write their contracts and claim their lands and write down the recipe, their rules and regulations. It was the first internet. A message can be written and delivered for miles without being distorted, or for ages without being distorted. Or it can be manipulated and distorted. Either way, every month this crop produces its fruits. Income. Enough income to heal a nation. So this is the reason why it says, and the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nation, so that there shall be no more curse. The curse is ignorance, which leads to poverty and the degradation of a culture, disease, cognitive dissonance, disobedience. So blessed are those who do his commandments, that they may have the right to the tree of life and may enter into the gates of the city. But outside are dogs, sorcerers, and sexual immoral murderers, and idolaters, and whoever loves and practices a lie. I, Jesus, has sent my angels to testify to you these things in the churches. I am the root, the route, the root, which is the Nile River, the river of Egypt, leading down to the motherland of Cush and Punt, and the offspring of David, which is the throne of God upon this earth. Man either walk with or wrestle with God. Either or, the Lord separated from God in chapter 4. See, in Genesis 1, you'll see that it was about God, the Spirit of creation, who hovered upon the waters. But Genesis 2, in the midst of it, in the beginning, 3 times you'll see God mentioned in the beginning, which is the conclusion of chapter 1, the history of the heavens and the earth. Chapter 2 actually naturally begins, for God has not caused it to rain, or had not caused it to rain on the earth, and there was no man to till the ground, which is to tell you that the Lord God did not have the ability to cause rain, unlike God, who could cause rain and cause flooding, the great floods, the God of nature. But this God found his solution in river agriculture. But a mist came up and watered the whole face of the earth, right? And if you skim a little bit forward, it says, now river watered the garden of Eden. And from there it parted and became 4 river heads. Right? We went through that. The first is Pishon, then Gihon, then Hideko, and then these rivers lead to the Euphrates.